Wait, sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Wow. You okay?
Yeah. Today we are gonna transplant this gorgeous aloe plant, and you can tell by the looks of it, we've waited a little bit too long. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Actually, maybe I'll leave it down.
Yeah, leave her down.
Yeah.
Leave her down. Let's get this going.
Um,
So this was way outgrown. My fault. Kept procrastinating. We've all been there. Or I tell myself that. Maybe organized people aren't. But anyways, we are. Let me try to get this shot in. Actually, I'll flip it around. This very overgrown aloe. Started off little, and they grow up so quick.
People often ask us, how do you transplant these, and what does it look like? How are the pups connected or not connected to the mother plant? So we thought this would be an awesome way just to show you exactly how they grow. And the cool thing about aloe is they'll just keep putting out pups, and then you can do what we're about to do right now and make more aloe plants for yourself or give them away.
And to that point, let's show them quickly.
Yeah, go for
Check
it.
this out. This is our aloe. So I started off with just one little guy, and a few years ago, just really started splitting them up. And you can see they outgrow their homes. This is kind of letting you know they need a bigger spot. They start falling out. And yeah, so we're gonna move them over. Turn off
So
some
all
of
of the plants on this aloe plants on this table were started from one mother aloe, which is just
who my friend Jack at the New England Wildlife Center gave me as a birthday gift. Thanks, bud. I'm gonna give him one of these back.
All right, so given that we have this nice tip over.
What's up, Mike?
I'm just gonna, and the other thing that's kind of made this nice, we haven't watered it in a bit, which can make it easier to slide stuff out. Oh boy, look at those roots.
Boom.
Oh my gosh, so you can see that the roots were starting to turn. It's in a plastic pot, so to be expected that it's a little bit, not terribly root bound, but definitely a lot of roots in here. So yeah, we'll get to it. I'm gonna pull out, there's some dead, like this guy, as you can see it already was dead. We'll just put these aside, same with this.
And you know, I've heard people propagating from those, but I'll use those. I mean, instead of putting, I've tried it briefly. I didn't see roots that were coming from it. So anyone out there, if you have had a different experience, let us know.
All right, Matt, jump in. Do you show me how you like to do this? Do you want to start by clipping away? Do you want to get the soil out?
You can see what's going on.
We usually can see
How's that angle?
the mother.
Yeah, it's tricky. You know, sometimes it feels like no winning. You'll lose some root matter. I think I brought a big enough pot for that big guy right here. Sorry, I gotta go grab some more.
Well, we can put him back in her.
I'll show you quickly though. Well, we're starting to, well, I guess we'll do that after. Let's start breaking them up a little. Let's see how many we're probably gonna try to repot and how many separate kind of.
All right, so this is good. We had a really nice light soil, which is making it easier to get the roots out. And the roots had not balled up, so it's pretty simple to kind of separate out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see. Okay, good. You guys can really get in here with us.
And art, and you know, some people really. I have personally. I've seen people, especially.
Ooh, okay, yeah. Here's a
so
good.
this is. I like this little guy, right?
Yes.
So we can take this little guy.
So
It's always good to have some root matter on there. That really helps.
So this was kind of like the main connection point to the mother plant. And then what's great is you can see it's now put out its own little roots. So what's awesome is when we plant this, these roots will act as, I'll just use my hand. These roots will act as the place that the plant will get its food and water from. So it's great to see that it's got some nice roots. So that's gonna make a nice
So this will
little-
kind of help you guys really see the roots that we got on this.
All right, so we'll put that guy aside. And then here's another, Matt, dig this one out and I'm gonna really show
cool.
everyone what you're doing here.
What I might do, I might even get a vacuum so people can really see it. I'm trying to think of like how to really expose it. I
Yeah.
can feel there's a connection between these guys right here. So get in there.
So essentially what you wanna do is break the main connection, but leave as many of these long roots, which will help to feed the plant once it's on its own.
So I wish there was more root than this.
Right.
Then here, I'll pull this guy up. So
So that's where it was connected. That's what he broke, and he tried not to break any of these.
but this will be enough to
Yeah.
take, right? And so I'm gonna start lining them up and seeing how many we got. We started, when I first potted this guy, I'd say there was probably one plant I put in here, if I remember, that was bigger than this guy, but it's crazy. Aloe, I've read over and over again that they, you know, are from high lighting. Oh, this is hilarious. So apparently in the soil, there's some, you can see what does and doesn't break down. This was a fish tank aquarium filtration that somehow wound up in there. Let's see how many we get in here.
There we go. Okay, that. And sometimes they just snap right off like that. Just so easy. And these are called pups when they come off the mother plant. I'm so glad we're doing this. This is like something I walk by this all the time, and I'm like, oh, we gotta do that.
It's been the like we're procrastinating.
What if I take this big guy, Matt?
Should we do it, guys? What do you think? Thumbs up. If someone gives a thumbs up,
All
we're
right,
sending
here
it.
she is. This is probably the original plant.
Okay, yeah, I can feel it. So there's a big, heavy connection. Let's see if we can get in there and show you where it's all intertwined.
Oh, yep, I
You
can hear
feel it snapping a little, but we're gonna have to make some breaks. But I don't want to rip. The part that I hate, right? This is what we're trying to avoid. So you see this root? This is just sitting here in the soil, not attached to anyone. So I just want to leave as much root intact to plants. Oh.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, baby. Look at that. Let me grab another.
Yes.
Look at that root.
All right, this is gonna be awesome.
So that one's gonna do great. I actually think we put that guy back in here
Yeah.
at some point, and maybe even in. And by the way, what we're gonna be repotting in, I'll show you is.
Let me just lay it on.
Yeah, let's
top
lay
of
it down.
this.
We'll do that
I'm
at the
gonna
end.
lay it on top of this.
Okay.
Just because of the way I
Utes.
have it in my arms. There we go. Woo. Yeah, I was gonna do that exact same thing.
You know what?
Remember that
It's
this is
dry.
cream.
It is really dry, so I'm gonna treat myself. Look at that.
The pure,
Sometimes
100%
I'm growing all this aloe, and
aloe
we have so much aloe in here. I'll be like, man, I'm feeling like my skin's a little dry, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, we have a farm of aloe vera here. So, what am I doing? All right, so chopsticks. Oh, that's a great idea, Mike. Thank you. I love that idea. You know what? This was actually not the smartest idea though, because now I'm gonna put my hands back in dirt and just be covered in mud. Still feels great. All right, let's keep going on this, seeing what we can split up. Oh, yeah. Come on.
I think it's also like it's a lot
Oh.
of, it's like
When you-
intimidating a little bit to do it, which is why we also put it off.
I want
but-
to show you this too, right?
Okay.
This is my favorite little thing is when you feel it snap loose and then you feel like that the
Oh, you've got
roots
a
are
perfect angle on
slowly
it.
just detaching
Yes.
without ripping.
All right, hold that up.
Oh, this is.
That was money.
I mean, this is a little crazy town. I somehow pulled this guy loose in the process, but look at this guy. Clearly, you can see what it was doing. It was just vining, falling over. And so this one, you know, when we repot it, I might. So I don't want to bury too much of this because it could rot, but maybe I'll snap these off and just kind of lay it down. Any advice on this sort of sitch, you know, let me know, because if I put it like this, it's going to fall itself over. Maybe I'll just bury it like that. We'll mess
Mike
with that.
says chopsticks work good for that. That's a really good idea.
I think he was meaning for picking through these guys. Which
Yeah,
is like a cool
exactly.
idea.
Yeah, I like that. And then Master Soda said aloe saved my face from pimples. Yeah, aloe is
Dude, aloe
the best.
is the bomb.
And when you have your own plant, you can get 100% aloe lotion for free. Which
I
is
will
nice.
say, I feel like this got timed well because I'm pulling these guys out and they're just popping loose so smooth, so they're not
Yes.
over or undercrowded. Like sometimes,
This might be a
you
good
know,
one to
you did it
show
too
the
early. If
connection.
yeah, here I'll flip it and get in there.
Oh, just even. Yeah, it's like it's like to your point, Matt, like that didn't even, this is where it was, I don't know if you guys can see. These thicker pieces are where it was originally connected to like the main other plant and they were already broken off. Like this one had already become its own plant all on its own. Just so easy. Oh, actually it's 3
Boom.
plants.
1, 2, 3.
You guys, look at how much was in this, what is that, a 7-gallon pot? Oh my God.
Yep.
All right. Oh yeah, they just keep sliding out. I can't wait to see how many we get. It's actually amazing that it wasn't more root bound, considering how much was going on in here.
And you know, I was struggling growing aloe for the longest time, and I love growing it, but I was overdoing it with care. And
oh, are you? Oh, good. You
Yeah, let me flip it back so we can see.
Matt, I can take a guess at what this soil is. Do you remember exactly what you did?
Yeah, so what I typically use, I'll use some traditional light fertilizer soils, and I like adding additional aeration, in particular rice hulls. So it'll be like a third rice hulls added on top, because aloe, especially when you first transplant, you got to be really careful, you know, especially these guys, like for someone like this, I really worry about it rotting out. So I want to make sure there's good aeration. And the cool part, the reason why I like using rice hulls for something like this and everything else just about is I'll start with they'll start breaking down over time. And so as the plant gets bigger, the rice hulls break down and the soil itself can start holding more water, which is great because that's basically, it's like slowly becoming better at water saturation as the plant gets bigger, which is what you want.
All right, I think we're ready to count.
Ready?
All right, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and then this one in the corner, is 5, and now let's count what's on the paper towel for
Ready?
number of 6.
1. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
So 19 separate aloe plants in this one pot. Oh my gosh. The gift that keeps on giving. All right, cool. So now the fun part, we get to repot them. So Matt, you brought some stuff over. You wanna tell us what you got?
Yeah, sure. So, actually, here's the soil. I'm gonna
Here, you know
use-
what, I'll
I
tip
wanna
it up.
bring this over.
Whoop.
So let's create our mix. And, yeah, you wanna bring it, maybe over so people can see this?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cool, cool. I'll mix up. So this is actually old spent potting soil I grew tomatoes in. And so I like using something like this for houseplants because it's not hot with fertilizers, which is great. And here, you can just put it down like
Oh,
this.
sorry.
Yeah, it's cool.
Sorry.
So it's stable.
Yeah.
And so it's a spent soil, which is nice because it's not gonna be super hot. You can see in there. And so I'm gonna dump this in, and then I'm gonna add about, for this guy, because it seems pretty light, and look at all that rice hulls, so I don't need to add a ton. Dusty. I'm gonna add some rice hulls in there. You wanna dump that in? It's definitely, feel that, it's still wet from the tomatoes it had in the summer. And so this is gonna add some nice aeration in. I don't know if we need the stick in there.
I am realizing now that we know we have, 20 plants, these 5 pots is not gonna cut it, so I'm gonna go grab a few more pots.
Okay. Time to get the sweatshirt off, I think. All right, so I'm gonna turn this up a little. And sometimes I will put a little bit moisture soil right around, so I'll say, you know, kind of intentionally not stir it completely and leave some thicker soil to leave right around the root mass and then keep the rest of it dry. So let's do one of these guys right here. So I'm gonna just mess with this guy, put him in, add some soil. You know, this stuff's so dried out. Actually, before I start planting, I'm gonna add a little water in here.
I have a thing of RO.
Let's do fish tank water.
Fish tank water, okay, great.
Yeah. So we're gonna add some fish tank water in. Hey, how's it going? We are live and open, so at the same time. So
I will help this gentleman.
yes. All right, we might not have any fish tank water. I might have just dumped that out. Let me grab it.
It's so good to see you. Dad, how have you been? I've been good. I have been sleeping.
Mandy.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's okay. Is it just the eggs today? Yeah. I know you got a lot of food out.
All right, so I got some water. I'm gonna water in a little. Sorry for that. Everyone's gone, so I don't have to apologize to anyone. But all right, just gonna water in a little. Try to get even. Because otherwise what'll happen is if you water in on top, after transplanting, you will deal with, potentially you won't know whether the water is really holding or not if it's super dry. All right. So now it's actually wet enough that when I do water in, it'll actually saturate and hold some water, which is good. 'Cause before, it was just bone dry. All right. That's nice. Not wet, but definitely not dry either. You know what, I'm gonna do one more. It's still a little drier than I want. All right, clean my hands, got a little more fish tank water. Try to get a little everywhere. Some duckweed in there, fertilizer. Mix this up. All right, and now it's wet, the rice hulls are pulled together, and I think we are about ready to transplant. Oh, still a little dry down below. A little more. The thing again, I want to make sure to avoid is if the soil is bone dry, it won't even take up water when I water it, so I'll water and it'll just run right through. And I want to make sure it has enough moisture to it that when I water, the roots are actually going to be wet and there's not going to be dry pockets. So, all right, that feels good to me. See, it's kind of starting to stick to my hands. That's how you know it's wet. All right. I compress it in, but I don't hammer it. Some people really push it in heavily, but if you leave it too light, it won't stick. All right, put a little hole. Actually, with this root, I'm going to dig out first, put it in there. I don't know if you guys can see this. Show you, getting it in there. Fill in. Boom. Okay. Aloe. One down. 18 to go. Hey, bud, you want an aloe plant as a gift?
Oh, we owe them a plant.
We do owe you a plant. So we have a friend here right now, and so yeah, if you happen to walk in the garden while we're doing this, we will give you a free aloe plant.
Yes, amazing.
There you go. Awesome.
All right. Freshly.
Nothing better than
repotted.
aloe for a gift, right?
Brand new. Just pulled it out of the.
All right.
pot. Great to see you. Have a good
Good
day.
seeing you, bud. Thank you. Enjoy.
I'm back.
All right, you want to take over? I'm gonna wash my hands.
Yeah,
real
no,
quick.
you did great. All right, cool. So I'll just make a couple more. I grabbed a couple little pots, the teeny tiny.
Yeah, should we wheel this out maybe and set it a little more, or is this good? I don't know.
Yeah, whatever is. I totally get what you're saying. I got some of these tiny ones too.
That's all.
Boop. Maybe I'll just lay a couple of the really little guys in here.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. We'll be right back.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course. Okay. All right. So I'm sure Matt went over how to do this part. Pretty straightforward. And again, this is reused soil, so there's old roots in here from the tomato plants that we used, and all of that we just love. You know, you get the microbes that are still living on those roots going into your plant, and you know, you just get the whatever food's been starting to be broken down by microbes is available. Obviously, used soil can also need to have a little bit of a refresh because a lot of the food has been eaten, depending on how long a plant was in there. But whatever wasn't eaten is more available because it's been worked on by microbes. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and put this guy right in. I made like a little circle for him. These precious little roots are the most important thing to make sure they're covered. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle really some soil around just to stabilize more than anything, because it's tough. You don't want to have the soil up high enough that it'll rot out the green.
Oh, looks good.
Oh, thank you. But you also want to have it covered enough that those little roots, will start to find their way down and stay moist when we do water. So bada bing, bada boom.
I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna go pick out a pretty plant container, put this in, and maybe add some other plants too.
Oh yeah, to do
Is
the
that
mother
cool?
one in?
Yeah, I'm
That's a
gonna
great
maybe
idea.
put like one with a Christmas cactus. I'll be right back.
Okay,
Is that
I
cool?
love it, yes.
No, I'm thinking like a little guy. A little scene.
Oh, I love this. You're feeling some creative magic. So when building containers of multiple plants, one thing to just keep in mind is, as much as you can to get plants together in the sense that they have similar soil and drainage needs, similar water and light requirements. Because obviously if you put something, in an extreme case, if you put something desert next to something tropical, one of them is going to be unhappy with however the other one's being cared for. All right, a little more stabilizing. That's the one hard part about new aloe. It just, it's like just a stick that wants to tip over when you first get going.
Should I just do straight aloe or should I mix someone else in here? I do. A little aloe box?
Yeah, bring it over here so people can see what you're thinking.
Yeah, anyone,
All right, so this one makes me a little worried because there's no drainage on that pot, but are you just...
it is true. There is no drainage on this pot, so
It's
this
a
is gonna
beautiful stone
We're gonna have to be
pot.
really careful about watering and
All
overwatering.
right, I'll just
but
remember that
yeah.
there's no drainage.
What do you think about one big guy and two little guys?
I love that. I think
Should I-
a 3-pack
Here,
is...
can I switch with you so
Of
that way I can put
course.
this one right?
Yeah. I'm not doing anything too exciting. I'm just gonna keep going.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll do this one on the counter, or I think it would look cool if it was like super zoomed. No? That?
Yeah, why don't I can stop what I'm doing and I'll film you.
Oh, yeah, why don't I wait?
Yeah, just give me one second. No,
yeah,
no,
let me get everything prepped.
This is good. I think I'm gonna add, because this is like bothering me, how much this thing's tipping over. I might add some steaks.
I'm gonna give this to my mom later.
Oh,
She's watching my kiddos,
sweet.
so.
Yeah, she's helping us out.
She might like this.
Okay.
All right, let's zoom it in.
I'm gonna take it off the tripod actually, if
Here,
everybody's.
no. Here, back it up instead. Yeah.
There we go.
Or, wait, let me get this.
Yeah. Get it the way you like it.
I think we could probably just drop these. Okay, so, yeah, I think I'm gonna just try to prop this up. Actually, you wanna help me with this guy?
I can, yes.
You wanna hold them up while I kinda, or I can do this.
Yeah. Let me
Sure.
hold it for you, of
Sorry,
course.
I know you're doing your own.
No. I was just waiting for you to get the
So
camera.
one thing I like to do, so we put it down like this, and then as I'm putting soil in, I'll lift it up gently, and then try and kind of shake it, so that way the roots aren't, it kind of gives the roots a little spread in the soil. You have to be careful, because you can also rip roots. That's not from one of these, that was from the tomato plant that was in before the soil.
And any root matter that's still in here that's not connected to an aloe plant will just break down over time and become food.
Okay, so I can feel it still tipping, which is okay, just kind of get a little wobble, a little pack down, bada bing, bada boom.
Oh, I love the 3-pack.
Yeah?
Yeah, this looks really good.
Yeah. A little trio for you.
You have impeccable spacing.
Thanks. Thanks, sweetie. You're too nice to me. I'm sure people out there are
Whoop.
like, oh, whoops.
Sorry, whoop.
Whoops.
Sorry, I let go
No,
too soon.
no, you're good.
Here you go.
Get some under there.
I also have little stakes. If you want me to add those,
Cool.
just until they settle, you know?
Yeah, I think they'll be okay. You
Think
kind of
they'll
just
be all right.
overbury. I don't know why I don't love using stakes. Maybe because it's something to deal with down the line.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, you know, there's a time and place, and this is
This
probably
guy
it.
wants to fall
does, doesn't
so
he?
bad.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
really build up around
Yeah.
him. When we water in, he'll get a little more stable.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll, you know what? I'm going to do something. I'm going to snap this off because I can feel this is what was pulling him over. With that off, it's a lot more stable. So, and plus, now I got some aloe. All right, cool. Well, should we keep going or you want to?
Yeah, I think we did it. I think that was basically it. It's so cool to see how they just multiply and multiply and multiply. Thank you so much for joining us,
Yeah.
everybody.
Until next time.
Until next time.